I am not symbolic. I am your emperor and your master. So says Serpentor, and now he shall arise. Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you a very special action figure review, taking a look at the toy I've wanted for basically my entire life, which is the G.I. Joe Classified Pulsecon exclusive Serpentor and Air Chariot. Yes, the moment has arrived. It finally came in the mail today. I'm so freaking excited. I've said since the beginning that this was the figure I needed in a 6-inch figure line of G.I. Joe Classified. This thing looks friggin' amazing. The box is incredible. Let's take a closer look at the packaging. Then we'll open this thing up. We'll go through layer by layer, all the accessories, obviously the Air Chariot, the figure itself. So much to look at with this thing. So excited to have it in hand. Let's get to it. So if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know when I do reviews, I love action figure packaging. It is an art unto itself. This is fantastic. We have Serpentor right here, chilling at the Lincoln Memorial. We have him knocking out Cobra Commander. We have a nice artistic rendering right here of him. Down below, there he is on the Air Chariot. Above, he's cauterizing his wounds. And then here we get Destro, the Baroness, and multiple Cobra troopers with him riding the Air Chariot up above. Also, a nice look down below here of various planes in the air. The bottoms of the legalese, all the nonsense we don't really care about. The top, you do get a nice Cobra logo. It's upside down, but you get the idea. The sides, we get the number 57 along with the name Serpentor and the Air Chariot, as well as the different icons representing his actual power sets. And again, on the front, we have layers to this packaging, which is absolutely incredible. Artistic rendering, G.I. Joe Classified, the name of the figure right there. Let's open this up and see what's inside. So first, you have to remove the slipcase. Multiple pieces of tape on this thing for security purposes, so make sure you do cut all the tape off, being careful not to damage the box if you want to keep it, if you are of that persuasion. Great look here at the Cobra logos intertwining to make essentially some DNA. Again, same thing here on the side. We talked about the back mural already being freaking gorgeous. Again, lots of tape throughout this thing, very layered, so be careful opening it up. But let's crack this open and see what's in the front. So I will be utilizing different camera angles to make this work as best I can, to showcase everything it has to show you. This does open up here like so. On the inside, you do get a great look here at the various accessories that do come along with Serpentor, the figure itself, a great artistic rendering of the Air Chariot in the laboratory. Over here, we have the Mars Industries logo, which is the shell company for Cobra that the Crimson Twins, I believe, do run. Again, more accessories and pieces over here. This presentation is absolutely astounding and definitely is fitting for the fact that this is an exclusive for Pulsecon. It's just awesome. What can I say? So the accessories actually do come in trays. So you basically cut a piece of tape at the top of both of these flaps, and these just slide right out. Here we do get the alternate Cobra headpiece, as well as one of the gauntlets or claws that will go with the hand. On this side over here in the other shell, or tray, we do get the sword or blade, we get the Serpentor staff, and we do get the snake, which was used in the movie to basically throw and, spoiler alert, kill Duke until Hasbro freaked out and walked it back and said he was in a coma. Let's take these out of the shells and take a closer look. Our first batch of accessories out of those two trays, there will be more inside the box. This is an alternate piece that will clip in behind Serpentor's head, I believe, to give him a different look altogether than what he comes with. This does also go along with that. I believe this will pop onto the top of his head later on. There's a peg underneath for that to occur. I should say a peg hole. We do get the blade or the sword. Came out looking pretty good. We do get a little bit of paint down here with some red. So that looks decent enough. I really like the snake. It's also soft plastic. It's not bendy wire, but it can be moved around. I love that scene in the movie. Maybe I'm not a good person for enjoying it, where he just throw that at Duke. Here is the piece that will go with the hand as the weapon with the blades, or as I'm calling it, 2/3 of a Wolverine claw. And here is the staff. Every good leader, especially if Cobra, needs a staff. I kind of feel like they could have put some better paint, or any paint at all, on the eyes. That might be something that people might want to do themselves to make that pop a little bit better. But again, just your typical kind of Cobra looking logo with the actual marks on it right there. Decent size. We get a little bit of paint down here on the bottom. That's about it. As I mentioned earlier, good on Hasbro, very secure packaging. As you peel away the layers of this box, there's so much tape. There are different sorts of twisty ties holding things in place, different pieces of plastic. For instance, there's a plastic blister over top of the snake right here. Let me turn my light. This looks really freaking cool. I am really digging this. That is an amazing touch to go along with Serpentor. The face looking great on that. Other pieces, we kind of do get into some more accessories as well as things that go along with the actual air chariot. Here's the other 2/3 of a Wolverine claw that I mentioned before, so one for each hand. This is actually going to be the gun or guns that do go over on the air chariot. Very nice job with the packaging, having that paper and tape going around it right there. Back here, we do have these 2 pieces that will be, I guess, the shells or the bullets that are coming out of the gun. And then we do get these 2 pieces, which I believe are pieces that go along with, I guess they're missiles actually, taking a closer look at them. I thought they connected together, but I think these are missiles that will also attach to the air chariot. So all sorts of pieces of accessories for both the figure and the actual air chariot. Let's build that air chariot, see what that looks like, and then we will look at the actual figure. So here is the air chariot and all of its pieces. This is fun. This is, honestly, I'm having flashbacks. So really quick insider baseball. When I was a little kid, I had a great uncle. He was great, but he was my mom's uncle, so he was my great uncle, who he and my family would buy me G.I. Joes for different gifts. He would babysit me in the summers. And my uncle would buy me the different vehicles, but he said the rule was I had to build them. Not that that was very difficult, but as a kid, being, I don't know, like 6 or 7, it could be daunting at times. So I'm definitely having some nostalgic flashbacks to my uncle telling me to put these together. This is just like the ultimate Build-A-Figure or whatever you want to refer to it as if you're a Legends collector as well. But this is just a lot of fun, I have to say. So they do give you directions, which is great. I know sometimes with some of the Marvel Legends things like the Mojo or others, deluxe figures, the MODOK, some people in the community have said they wish to get directions. Again, usually you can kind of putt around and figure it out on your own, but I think it's a nice touch giving you the instructions or the directions. And again, definitely a flashback to being a kid looking at these blueprints. So I will start to assemble this thing. And actually, before we even get to that, let's take a closer look at the air chariot itself before we do get into putting all the pieces together. This is just great. It's so fun having the flashbacks. This will spin. Well, that actually shows on camera. But this will spin, which is, again, very nice touch. They did not need to do that. Looking around at the rest of it, we do have some really great flashbacks here with the stickers, caution, gun reactor, so different warnings across it. Up here, G6116, I think I might say. On the back, we do have the nice vents to go with this. A lot of the weaponry will clip into the back. Over on this side, similar with the decals or the stickers, whatever you want to refer to them as. Just very cool looking. We can see right here moving along just all of the different details on this thing. It's so good. And it just makes me wonder how many great things in the future can we get similar to this from G.I. Joe. When actually doing the first step, which is mounting this on the front, there's a closer look, by the way, at the front of the air chariot. Basically, you're going to want to be careful. You do have those 2 pieces right here, and then there's going to be a peg that has to go in that hole. So on the flip side right here, you can see what that looks like right there. So you're going to have to kind of slip this over the top to get into each groove and then pop it in. I'll be honest, I'm going to do it off camera just so I don't break the gosh darn thing. So that was admittedly not difficult, but again, I have one of these, so I didn't want to take the chance on breaking it. I just have to be careful slipping it through, getting it where it needs to go. There is a 360 of what that's going to look like once you do attach that front piece to the air chariot. I can't tell you enough how much I'm enjoying this and the feels I'm getting from putting this thing together. Again, flashing back to being a kid and getting gifts from my uncle. Step 2, according to the directions, is to pop this into place, which I already did. We do get a nice sticker going on right there for, I guess you consider it the steering wheel of the air chariot. I just noticed in the back here we have these patterns going on. Just a lot of detail. Here again, we do have different stickers here, which would be, I guess, different types of meters that are going on. Here, nice texture for where the peg holes are. And I just love that this thing spins. It's a little detail I'm really enjoying. Next step, we have to pop these onto the bottom part of the wings. This will just pop right in to that port. You get a bit of a satisfying pop sound, which if you've built the different Build-A-Figures in the past or different vehicles, always nice to get that little reassuring pop sound once you get it in place. But those will pop right in, no problem. Just adding some more dynamic look to this particular vehicle. It's really coming together. I love it. Final steps, you do get these guns or blasters, or whatever you want to call them. This will just port right into the front. Let's give it a push. Nice satisfying pop right there. We will do the second one on camera here as well. You grab it from here on the side, so same thing. You'll see that there's the peg, there's the hole, pop it in, bang, right there. Let's get these things mounted. So here it is, our completed Air Chariot. I love this thing. All the nostalgia buttons have been hit. I absolutely just love it. So much fun putting this thing together. I was reminded that I'm definitely not an architect or a mechanic or anything like that. When I'm putting things together, I do struggle. The instructions are very helpful. All I can say is, hey, Uncle Pete, I did it. All right, now let's take a closer look at the figure itself, how the accessories go with it, and then put it all on display together. First impressions of the figure itself. Love it. I love it. It commands respect on your shelf. It just looks exquisite. It really does. I know I'm gushing. I don't care because I just love how this thing looks. We have great texture on the soft goods cape. First of all, soft goods cape, so incredible. I know it's a Deluxe Con exclusive, so you should have one on here, but they delivered. Looking here at the aesthetics, closer up, let's turn our light a little bit here. The face sculpt, it looks great. That is spot on. I love the Cobra headpiece going on, which is removable. We can mess around with that later on. We do get the snake tails going across the chest plate. Here we do have the snake heads, very reminiscent of the cartoon. Great snake-looking scaly texture here, all the way down on the arms, down to the gloves, more texture right here on the hands. We do have the soft goods cape kind of cut in along the side. This arm, obviously, same thing. We have the ports here on the elbows, which I'm sorry, in the wrists. Forearms, I'm guessing these will port in later on. Great snake belt with the snake logo head on the front, right down to the boots. Great texture down here. Again, very scaly throughout the legs. We have the armor pieces covering the fronts here of the thigh and the quads, down to the knee pads. The green and the gold just pop. Paint looks great here, just jumping out at you onto the chest. I'm guessing that's paint, or that could just be that colored plastic. I'm never really official when it comes to that stuff on here, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. But the cape is awesome. There's the back, there's the butt. The snake goes all the way around for the belt. Again, more armor down the side. Boots look great. More texture on the side. I honestly think it's the cape that makes it for me. I never opened up my Cobra Commander Supreme or Deluxe, whatever it was called. So I never got the fact to enjoy that soft goods cape. So I'm very excited to be getting Dr. Mindbender in soon for another soft goods cape. But this guy looks incredible. Let's take a look and see how he moves. I'm going to call an audible here. I don't do this often. I started to do some articulation. He is tight as hell. The elbow joint's super tight. Shoulder also a little bit tight. I don't want to move this thing around and break it. I did not heat it up ahead of time. This is pretty much right out of the packaging, other than showing you the good old butterfly joints. The articulation on this is basically your typical G.I. Joe classified articulation. So I will skip the articulation segment because I've gone so long already regarding putting together the Air Chariot. This thing looks cool. Let's pop a few pieces on it. I'm not even going to mess with the head. I'm leaving the head on there. I like the way it looks. So let's just kind of put the other weapons in his hands and put them all on the Air Chariot. And some quick comparisons. Here are some other G.I. Joe classified figures. You can see everybody's towering above Cobra Commander here. Serpentor, very large figure with the Cobra headpiece. Just slightly taller, I'd say, than Sergeant Slaughter. As we know, they had their epic fight in G.I. Joe the movie. The Bat is obviously smaller than both Sarge and Serpentor. Another Cobra comparison, here is Serpentor standing with Storm Shadow and one of the Crimson Twins. Again, you can see he does tower over all of his Cobra counterparts. Here's Serpentor spinning around with the G.I. Joe Classified Alpha Snake Eyes, and also the Valaverse Action Force Sergeant Slaughter, which you can see does look very undersized compared to Serpentor here. So Classified definitely upscaling a lot of these figures from the movie, as opposed to the somewhat smaller Valaverse figures, which are incredible. I still love the ones I have, but they don't necessarily scale quite as well with some of the larger G.I. Joe Classified figures. For today, how he scales with some Marvel Legends. Here is the new King in Black Venom from the 2-pack, and also the new Renew Your Vows Peter Parker Spider-Man. And yes, I know he's not standing here, but I love that pose so much I didn't want to take him out of it. Some more outside-the-box comparisons. Here is our Serpentor standing next to a Plunderling, Feral Cheetah, and also one of my only Mezco toys, Ash from Evil Dead. And to have some fun, here is our NECA Ralphie from A Christmas Story. It is the holiday season, and you were all in misery. And the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys, Big Mother Fragger himself, Lobo. And last, and as everybody likes to say, certainly not least, here's our G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor, standing with our AEW unrivaled Jazzwares Orange Cassidy. You know, Orange probably would go work for Serpentor, but I kind of think that his sloth-style laziness may not exactly go along with the mission plan. Overall thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor and Air Chariot. It's amazing. I love this thing. This is the piece that might start getting me to actually consider, again, pumping the brakes on G.I. Joe Classified. This is the one I always envisioned wanting once they announced this line. Now that I have him and Sergeant Slaughter, I'm an old guy who looks very fondly upon that movie from when I was a kid. So having this in hand is fantastic. Obviously, I always love adding different Joes. Looking forward to some of them in the future. But I'm not going to need every single Classified. And this guy just brings Cobra together for me. So I will be adding some more as we go forward. But this thing's great. The Air Chariot's phenomenal. So much fun. Got all the feels and nostalgia putting it together. Figure itself was great. Sorry I skipped the articulation. But again, it's relatively standard G.I. Joe articulation. And this guy is stiff coming out of the packaging, so I did not want to take the time tonight to heat him up to just show you the same old thing I always show you any other time. But overall, love this thing. If you're able to get your hands on this, or if they do put it up for pre-order again down the road, if you can move some funds around to pick this thing up, as it was relatively expensive. I think it was around $90-some with the shipping. It's very well worth it. With this, everybody, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this review. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps us grow the channel tremendously. Hit that bell for notifications. That way YouTube actually will tell you and notify you when we post new content here on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us over Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey, everybody. If you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt. Patience, persistence, but most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs. Cobra!